Here's a look at recap of your markets on this Thursday, the 14th day of August. Another big sell-off on the cattle futures after several days of gains. However, for the week, still slightly about $1 higher on the contracts, both for live cattle and feeder cattle. But today's losses, once again, sure look ugly. However, that seems to be the routine that we're in. Several days of gains, then a big day of losses. Taking a look at negotiated feedlot trade, had a fair amount of trade develop today. 29,790 head of negotiated sales so far this week. Texas still at zero. Trade in Kansas has been light. 1,304 head, mostly at 237 live. A few dress sales at 380. Iowa's reported 10,662 head. 240 to 246 live, dress sales from 380 to 385. Nebraska's reported 12,843 heads so far this week. Live sales from 242 to mostly 245. Dress sales on those over 80% choice at 380 to 385. There was some mixed steers and heifers and some in the lower grading choices down to 376. Box beef cutout values, choice up $3.30 for the day at $393.79. Select down $1.08 at $366.88. Those values based on 89 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The choice select spread at $26.91. At Mid-Missouri Stockyards today in Phillipsburg, they're about done for the day. No market reported there last week for a trend. Looks like they're going to have somewhere around 1,050 head or so today when all is said and done. The steers, medium and large ones, 4 to 5 weights at 450 to 490, 5 to 6 weights 393 to 457.50, 6 to 7 weights at 377 to 410, 7 to 8 weight steers from 338 to 386. The heifers, some 4 to 5 weights at 402.5 to 439, some 5 to 6 weights at 355 to 418, 6 to 650 pound heifers at 354.50 to 369.50. Taking a look at the futures markets on the Mercantile Exchange, live cattle for August, 233.35 down 220, October at 226.82 down 260, December 228.40 down $3. Feeder cattle for August, 340.40 down 547 for the day. September at 341.02 down 560. October at 340.45 down 517. CME cash feeder cattle index based on an 800-pound steer up through the 12-state feeding region, 346.01. That added almost $2 since yesterday, and that is once again an all-time record new high. Lean hogs for August up 2 cents today, 109.65. October down $1.65 at 89.12. December 81.62, down 142. Turning our attention to the grain markets, cash bids around the state today. Soybeans 15 to 45 cents lower. There were several elevators around the state that did some basis adjusting today. Wheat down 3 cents. Corn steady to 1 higher. Corn bids at the elevators in St. Louis, 398, Kansas City 385. Soybean bids in St. Louis, 1006 to 1014, Kansas City at 953. Wheat bids in St. Louis, 468 to 476. On the Board of Trade, corn contracts, September was up a penny at 375, December unchanged, 397 and a quarter, March down a penny at 414. Soybeans, the August contract expired today, 1008.5 down 15. September 1007.5 down 16.5. November beans at 1028.5 down 15 3/4. Wheat contract, September down 3 3/4 at 503.5. December 524.5 down 3 3/4, and March 4.5 lower at 542 1/4. Soybean meal, the August contract down $2.10. That contract went off the board today as well. That was down $2. September $284.30 down $2.70. Soybean oil for August went off the board today, $51.99 down $1.36. The September at $51.99, down $1.40. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's the recap of your markets for Thursday. This is Tony Hancock.